So this sexy ass piece of board is the Jones Mountain Twin, and very similar shape. Pretty much everything stayed the same except for one thing, and I'm not 100% as to how much this will translate to the production model. Sometimes the demo models we get are a little different than the production models. So, you know, the flex has changed. They decided to give this a little stiffer torsional flex than past years. And instead of it feeling a little more stiff torsionally, it feels a lot more stiff just across the board. So this could just be a demo model, and wood is different. So the board that I have might not be the same as the board you have. Before it was like, the Ultra Mountain Twin was, you know, just a little more snappy, a little more dynamic, slightly more stiff, but, you know, and this was kind of more of the softer, slightly more jib friendly, slightly more buttery version of that. This year, this 2018 Jones Mountain Twin is significantly stiffer than my 2017 Ultra Mountain Twin. If I said that correctly, this Jones Mountain Twin is now, the 18 Jones Mountain Twin is now stiffer than the 17 Ultra Mountain Twin. At least that's what I'm seeing. So hopefully in the production model, it won't be as stiff. And sometimes demo models, you know, things happen, you know, too much resin's poured in, gets heavier, gets stiffer, or, you know, they use the wrong core. But right now it even felt stiffer than the Ultracraft that we tried. It felt stiffer than almost than the flagship I tried last year. So I think this is just a you know, problem with this particular demo because the other Jones boards I've tried so far this year don't have that issue. They feel a little more stiff torsionally, like they say, but their core isn't, you know, it's not that much stiffer. But all in all, let's get to the rest of it. You know, you've got a nice little die cut base, and normally I'm always not really into the whole die cut thing, but when you feel this, it really feels good, and they've done it well. I'd rather just see black across the whole thing with or black mountains here and a little white, because it's so much easier to repair. This is going to look ugly over time as you get little gouges and gashes on it, and you have to repair it with different colored P-Tex than what you have on the base. But I will say this about the Jones bases: they've got glide. They're some of the best out there in terms of carrying their speed. They accelerate quickly and they keep their speed. Like, this is one of my favorite boards when it's well waxed on a long flat cat track. I just start passing people, and that's what's really special. You know, and that's kind of one of the things about this board. Even though it's generally supposed to be the softer of the two Mountain Twins, and it's supposed to be one of the most maybe playful board, freestyle focused, mountain freestyle focused board in their line, it still has that kind of fun, straight liney, you know, it doesn't really want to turn super quick. It likes a good straight line, and that base kind of reflects that. The camber profile, pretty cool. Just nice camber underfoot, going to rocker in the tip and tail. You've got a 23.6 inch reference stance. So if you move it up one, you should be centered, which is pretty cool, or at least that's how it used to be with the old Jones when they switched to the from GST to SWS. They kind of respec the board, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think you can ride it centered on side cut that way too. Now with the stance, the reference stance, the way they have it, if you want to set it all the way back, it's almost 23. Pardon me. It's almost 23 inches. It's actually 58 centimeters, which is like 22 3/4 almost, like 22.8 or something like that, which is really cool. It just feels good. It's a nice setback, and when you're doing that, I've done this year over year, but you know, so I even know it at this point, but you get 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches back on board is really good, especially when you're dealing with these noses that have this powder displacement. I haven't ridden the Jones Mountain Twin or Ultra Mountain Twin with the new nose in a ton of powder, and didn't really get a chance to compare it in powder to the old Mountain Twin, but the old Mountain Twins I've ridden in a lot of powder, and up to a couple feet, like 3 feet, and you know, they floated well. So if they say this displaces powder a little bit better, I'll believe them. But here's the thing, it's already amazing. So it's a great float, especially for a board that, you know, it's all Mountain Twin. And that's what I love about this board. You know, you can center it up, or, you know, ride it centered, take an all mountain freestyle approach to your riding, ride it switch, you know, go hit the pipe, go hit some kickers. If the flex is like this, probably not jibs, but if it's softer, yes, jibs. And then set it back and get pretty surfy in powder. And that's really the definition of an all mountain board. I don't subscribe to the, you know, to like an all Mountain Twin. Even though this is called the Mountain Twin, you can see obviously it's not centered on board. There is a, you know, a good setback on board. There's, you know, a little more nose than tail, and it's great for riding switch. It's not amazing, but it's good, and it's just pretty much good everywhere. And it's got that nice kind of cruisy feel. It's not scary. It's not an aggressive board unless you want it to be. And it, you know, it doesn't have that consequence when you get aggressive. And that's what I love about it. It also has this personality where it rides the same in hard snow, medium snow, and powder. It has that same personality where, you know, and that's attributed to the hybrid camber, where a lot of hybrid rocker boards, their personality changes from hard snow to medium snow to powder because of that rocker in the center. It's a little less consistent. I don't know if you can see, but there's a mellow mag. Let me hold it up a little closer here. You can see I think they even call it mellow mag. There's just a little bump, little bump, little bump, and it's just a slow wave through the board. It kind of extends out more at the waist. So, you know, I think it does affect that turn initiation a little bit, gives it more of that straight liney feel, and it's a little slower edge to edge. You know, maybe what might be fun is to see them kind of like put a bump here, and pinch it more at the waist. So, you know, it has a little faster turning, but, you know, I love the edge hold. It's good in hard snow. It's not amazing in ice. It's not an ice specialist, but it's good in hard snow, and it's good in most conditions you want to ride. It doesn't grab in powder. So all in all, the Jones Mountain Twin, still the verdict's out on the flex. Hopefully we'll find out, you know, this fall when the production models come out, if that's the way it is. But most likely it's going to be softer, and I just have a stiff demo.